Angels gone. I hope they're having fun, yeah, 'cause life is like a baseball game and he strikes you out. You argue with the umpires and they'll throw you out. But the beer is cold, the hot dog's hot, and I found out what it's about, for it's fun. For it's fun. I'm a worker in a brewer's town. Working till the sun goes down, yeah, but life is like a baseball game and he strikes you out. You argue with the umpires and they'll throw you out. But the beer is cold, the hot dog's hot, and I found out what it's about, for it's fun. Okay, Bonnie, a fastball, right down the pipe, yeah.
Warren Spahn starts the motion. Here's the pitch. There's a swing and a miss. He struck him out. 15 strikeouts for Warren Spahn. 15 strikeouts tonight.
Baseball game and he strikes you out. You argue with the umpires and they'll throw you out. But the beer is cold and the hot dog's hot, and I found out what it's about, for it's fun. For it's fun.
2-0 pitch, a swing and a hard hit ball to Roy McMillan. He bobbles, the ball comes up, throws the first base, and he is out. And Warren Spahn has pitched another no-hitter. Warren Spahn has just pitched his second no-hitter in his second consecutive year. And he's being mobbed out here behind the mound.
Curt Flood was a mighty man. He played the game the best that you can. Not afraid to take a stand. Curt Flood was a mighty man. He was born down in Houston, the youngest child. His daddy had to work night and day. They moved out west when Curt was young to try to keep the wolf at bay. The Floods tried to make it in the ghetto world. Brother Carl, he barely survived. Curt was saved by a paintbrush and a baseball bat, and he made it out of Oakland alive. Signed by Cincinnati in '56, headed for the minor leagues. They sent him down to play in Caroline. He hoped to make the big league team. Curt got a taste of the Southern life. The way they treated him was just obscene. Curt gave his soul to the game that he loved, and he made it to the National League. Curt Flood was a mighty man. He played the game the best that you can. Not afraid to take a stand. Curt Flood was a mighty man. St. Louis the very next year, and he made the '58 team. The Cardinals rode him to the pennant in '64. They beat the Yanks in an October dream. Well, the Cards beat the Sox a few years on. Mr. Flood hit .335. He won the Gold Glove 7 straight years. He was the best center fielder alive. They traded him to Philly for the summer of love, but Curt said he couldn't play. He wanted control of his destiny. lonely man.
Yeah, baseball, baby, is the game for me. I got 9 good reasons that'll make you see. No golf, no boxing, no basketball. Hardball boogie, it's got it all. The big train on the hill, it really brings the heat. Behind the plate is Yogi, he can't be beat. The iron horse at first ain't 6 feet tall. Hardball boogie, it's got it all. Yeah, hardball boogie. Hardball boogie for you and me. Project second, 83-58. Brooks at the hot corner, man, he's great. Wagner at short can really smack that ball. Hardball boogie, it's got it all. The splinter in the left and the baby in right. Joe in the center, he's out of sight. Don't let that umpire blow that call. Hardball boogie, it's got it all. Yeah, hardball boogie. Hardball boogie. Hardball boogie. Hardball boogie for you and me. Yeah, hard, 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 boogie. Hard, 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 boogie. Hard, 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 boogie. Hard, boogie. You and me.
As his team began to play. But when the game was over and the gear all put aside, you should have heard the manager as he sadly cried. Bases on balls, bases on balls. We gave them bases on balls. Had electric stuff but couldn't find the plate. And when he walked the bases full, the skipper couldn't wait. He yanked a starting pitcher and brought in another one. But in no time at all, the guy walked in the tying run. Bases on balls, bases on balls. On balls. The manager was riled. He sent for his best closer, and the count went 3-2. And when he threw a hanging curve, the team was through. Bases on balls, bases on balls. We lost 'cause of bases on balls. Sat all alone, his face was ashen gray. He pondered his defeat and said, there's got to be a way. And then he cried, I've got it! All you guys can take a hike. The anti-placed red wanted a pitcher with a strike. Bases on balls, bases on balls. Bases on balls. Save us from bases on balls. Lord, save us from bases on balls.
When I was just a kid, my daddy took me to see Babe Ruth at a party out in Massachusetts. 1919, that's the truth. But the Babe, he wasn't in the best of moods that day. Something about the Yankees and Red Sox and being traded away. He was leaning on a piano, slamming hard drinks back. When he said, if I could pick this piano up, I own it. He made a bet, that's a fact. Well, the room got real quiet as he stretched his big arms around. No one there would admit it, but that piano never left the ground. I'd rather jump in the ring with Rocky Marciano than be on the losing end like Babe Ruth's piano. Well, the Babe got got so mad you could see the veins in his face. Then he grabbed that old piano and he dragged it right out of the place. The tracks in the snow let out on the ice. Yeah, the babe had lost the bet, but that piano paid the price. I'd rather get my heart broke like Joltin' Joe DiMaggio than be left in the cold like Babe Ruth's piano. Well, I want to tell you people, all winter it was quite a sight. That cold and lonely upright, just sitting there on the ice. But like clockwork, spring and baseball come along. And one day the babe and that piano were gone. I'd rather have bad knees and have the drink like Mickey Mantle than be sinking down like Babe Ruth's piano. Now it's 2004 and I'm old and gray, and I just can't believe what I read in the paper today. Some Beantowners want to go out to the Willis Pond and bring that piano up from the watery beyond. But I think they ought to leave those muddy keys alone. Leave the legend and that piano beneath the surface where they belong. Now you might want to tell those youngsters to lend an ear. Believe none of what you read, and even less of what you hear. You can talk all you want about the curse of the Bambino, but there's nothing worse. Yeah, there's nothing worse. Nothing worse than the curse of being Babe Ruth's piano.
By the shores of old Lake Michigan, where the hawk wind blows so cold, an old Cub fan lay dying. In his midnight hour, the toll. Round his bed, his friends had all gathered. They knew his time was short. And on his head, they put this bright blue cap from his all-time favorite sport. told him it's late, it's getting dark in here, and I know it's time to go. But before I leave the lineup, boys, there's just one thing that I'd like to know. Do they still play the Blues in Chicago when baseball season rolls around? When the snow melts away, do the Cubbies still play in their ivy-covered burial ground? When I was a boy, they were my pride and joy, but now they only bring fatigue to the home of the brave, the land of the free, and the doormat of the National League. He told his friends, you know the law of averages says anything will happen that can. That's what it says. But the last time the Cubs won a National League pennant was the year we dropped the bomb on Japan. The Cubs made me a criminal, sent me down a wayward path. They stole my youth from me. That's the truth. I'd forsake my teachers to go sit in the bleachers in flagrant truancy. And then one thing led to another. And soon I discovered alcohol, gambling, dope, football, hockey, lacrosse, tennis. But what do you expect when you raise up a young boy's hopes and then just crush them like so many paper beer cups, year after year after year, after year after year after year after year after year, till those hopes are just so much popcorn for the pigeons beneath the L tracks to eat. He said, you know, I'll never see Wrigley Field anymore before my eternal rest. So if you have your pencils and your scorecards ready, I'll read you my last request. He said, give me a doubleheader funeral in Wrigley Field on some sunny weekend day, no lights. Have the organ play the national anthem, and then a little na-na-na-na, hey, 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 goodbye. Make 6 bullpen pitchers carry my coffin, and 6 groundskeepers clear my path. Have the umpires bark me out at every base in all their holy wrath. It's a beautiful day for a funeral. Hey, Ernie, let's play 2. Somebody go get Jack Brickhouse to come back and conduct just one more interview. Have the Cubbies run right out into the middle of the field. Have Keith Moreland drop a routine fly. Give everybody 2 bags of peanuts and a Frosty malt, and I'll be ready to die. Build a big fire on home plate out of your Louisville Slugger baseball bats and toss my coffin in. Let my ashes blow in a beautiful snow from the prevailing 30-mile-an-hour southwest wind. When my last remains go flying over the left field wall, we'll bid the bleacher bums adieu. And I will come to my final resting place out on Waveland Avenue. The dying man's friends told him to cut it out. They said, stop it, that's an awful shame. He whispered, don't cry, we'll meet by and by near the Heavenly Hall of Fame. He said, I've got season's tickets to watch the Angels now. So it's just what I'm gonna do. He said, but you, the living, you're stuck here with the Cubs. So it's me that feels sorry for you. And he said, oh, play that Lonesome Losers tune. That's the one I like the best. Closed his eyes and slipped away. Scotty, it was the dying Cub fans' last request, so here it is. Do they still play the Blues in Chicago when baseball season rolls around? When the snow melts away, do the Cubbies still play in their ivy-covered burial ground? When I was a boy, they were my pride and joy, but now they only bring fatigue to the home of the brave, the land of the free, and the doormat of the
I'm trying to find the ball game, no matter how bad the reception. Hey, Whitey man, I miss you. When I listen to the Phillies, and there's Harry going on without you. Good old Harry. Radio under my pillow kept me up on school nights. Ball games from the West Coast, they wouldn't start until 11. Hey, Whitey man, I miss you. When I listen to the Phillies, and there's Harry going on without you. For the first time since I was 7. We wore red, the thousands of us who'd come to say goodbye and pay their last respects. This tough town really loved you. I saw grown men who wept. Bats and spikes and flowers made a shrine around your casket, and I signed in the guest book as the line filed past it. Hey, Whitey man, I miss you. When I listen to the Phillies, and there's Harry going on without you. Good old Harry.
It's September, so the sun is low. The season's come, but now we'll go. The ball skips off the grass, I throw it back. The lights are on, the night is brisk. Oh, baseball gods, I ask you this, make it go slow. Make this game last, 'cause I've got baseball in my blood. Since the time that I was 7, that's all that I've dreamed of. I've got baseball in my soul. This field is my heaven. Don't ever make me go. Don't ever make me go. I play shortstop for the Buccaneers. The local fans hold their cold beers. It's just the minor leagues, it's not the show. But don't tell them in Middletown they're scared of when the mills close down. The Buccaneers are their last hope, 'cause they've got baseball in their blood. Since back in 51, this town has been in love. They've got baseball in their soul. But when the mills all close down, the stadium will go. Don't ever make it go. So it's me at Short Doug's on the hill. Jim plays second, at first is Bill McGee. This year could be his last. His knees are shot, the travel's hard. A late night bus, warm beer and cards. The minor leagues have aged him fast, but he's got baseball in his blood, like the easy worn out feeling of a beat up baseball glove. He's got baseball in his soul. Till they drag him from this field, Muggy will never go. This baseball bum is stealing home, is stealing home, is stealing home.
Bet you never heard Herbie score, but after the winter of '54, the Indian signal said, "Send us a kid with smoke." He blew him away in '55, this redhead southpaw man alive. Bet you never heard Herbie score. One day I saw him take the hill in the stadium that Babe Ruth built. Just sat back, I watched him fire. The curve, the heat, he didn't need tricks. He struck out the Yogi, struck out the Nick. Still you never heard a Herbie score. Then one night he took the mound. He was on his way to Cooperstown. One pitch and history was changed. McDougal swung and Herb was shattered. Tried to come back, but it never really mattered. And that's why I never heard about Herbie's score. There was Harry Aganis and Kenny Hubbs. One was a Red Sox, one was a Cub. Never got to finish what they began. The gods of the diamond change like the weather. They give us a natural, then they take it forever. And that's what they did to Herbie's score. The gods of the diamond, they play a strange game. They give us the light, then they blow out the flame. That's what they did to Herbie's score. Bet you never heard a Herbie score, but after the winter of '54, the Indian signal said, "Send us a kid with smoke."
the dugout who can carry your baseball shoes. Well, if you need a woman, Willie, we can take care of that. But Lord have mercy, baby, don't lay down your gloving bat, oh Willie Mays. I heard you got the natural blues. Well, there ain't no one in the dugout who can carry your baseball shoes. Well, all I can tell you, Willie, just do the best you can. But we don't need another announcer or a new insurance man, oh Willie Mays. I heard you got them natural blues. Well, there ain't no one in the dugout who can carry your baseball shoes. Yeah, what I'm talking about, Willie man. Yeah, there ain't no one in the dugout who can carry your baseball shoes.
Good evening, everyone, from Veterans Stadium in South Philadelphia, where unfortunately it's raining very hard and we're stuck in the dreaded pregame rain delay. We were to hear our lovely national anthem performed tonight by those velvety-throated teen idol sensations, Marat. That seems unlikely now. Strangely, though, the group is still standing out before home plate in the drenching downpour, grinning. Why, these cats are weird.
There's just so many hours in a day of the week. Shall we stay? Shall we throw the balls or put them all away? Shall we stay or shall we leave? It does appear that the clouds are a million miles away from me today. Or it's a rain delay. Or it's a rain delay. Or it's a rain delay. I'm sorry, okay. Sunday shower, a beach towel giveaway. Mom gets drunk, daddy pays. An autograph for a baseball holiday. In the shine or in the shade. There's just so many hours in a day. Anyway, it's a rain delay. It's a rain delay. 'Cause it's a rain delay. I'm sorry, okay.
Well, I was writing a play about Pete Rose and Bart Giamatti. It takes place in a Motel 6 just outside of Cincinnati. There's a table and a bottle of whiskey. They're drinking, but they light a cigarette first. Pete Rose looks terrible. Giamatti looks worse. Giamatti says, Pete, be straight with me. Have you been gambling on games? Pete says, Commissioner, where I come from, we bet on everything. He says, let's get to the point, Pete. Did you ever bet on your own team? I'm not sure what Pete's gonna reply, but I think I'll have a telephone ring. It's gonna be Shoeless Joe Jackson calling from Tangiers. Says, Commissioner, if you don't throw him out, what have I been doing all these years? Bagging groceries and painting houses, having a beg and steal and rob. He tries to grab the receiver. He says, I could tell you stuff about Ty Cobb. Then I hear a knocking at my door. It's my sweet Martha, and I open up, and she crawls in on the floor. Says, put down your paper and pen, boy. I can wait another day. I say, what's wrong? She grabs my leg, says, all I've got to say is, are you gambling with my love? Are you saying you don't care? Are you gambling with my love? Will you sit there in that chair? Are you gonna gamble? Are you gonna gamble? Gambling with my love. I say, girl, I got backers. I got money people waiting for this stuff. I got a theater off Broadway, convinced one act ain't gonna be enough. I say, I'm starting to roll with this dialogue. I'm getting inside Pete Rose's head. I say, he can taste the Hall of Fame. She said, don't you want to taste me instead? I said, girl, do you understand how with 4,000 hits a man could still feel emptiness? And I'd Pete say, Commissioner, what you got in your hand? He said, well, can't you guess? Pete said, if I was a betting man, I'd say you were trying to bluff me to my face. Commissioner said, too bad Janet's good. Playing the odds is playing second base. Gambling with my love. say about all this? Say, I don't know, I haven't thought about Mrs. Rose. And I leaned over and gave Martha a kiss. She said, you got two guys in a hotel room, no other characters or special effects. I said, there's plenty of drama there. She says, 3 acts, no sex. She says, there is a Mrs. Rose, though, yeah. I said, well, yeah, there is, I suppose. She said, well, what's her chemistry? What are her specifics? Does she have a wig? Does she wear support holes? I say, baby, you're wearing me out, I need a break. What do you say we turn down the bed? She looks at me, she rolls her eyes, she grabs my pen and says, are you gambling with my love? Are you saying you don't care? Are you gambling with my love? Are you sitting there in that chair? Are you gonna gamble? Are you gonna gamble? Gambling with my love. So now it goes like this. P. Rose Giamatti in a hotel room. Mrs. Rose bursts in and says, damn it, Peter, carrying your children in my womb. She says, Mr. Giamatti, you need this man as much as he needs you. She says, Judge, now let's give you judge. Turns to Pete and says, are you gonna gamble with my love? Are you saying you don't care? Are you gambling with my love? While you sit there in that chair, are you gonna gamble? Are you gonna gamble? Gambling with my love. Are you gambling with my love? Are you saying you don't care? Are you gambling with my love? Or you sit there in that chair? Are you gonna gamble? Are you gonna gamble? Gambling with my love.
Pain of last night's loss won't wash away. Please tell me, when will this losing ever end? It chased me into bed, and it filled my dreams with dread. But they say you're only as good as your next game. In Baltimore, it began to rain, and we had to live with losing one more day. Hotel room without a window, playing cards and drinking Bushmills. Couldn't chase that one bad inning Around the cage you sense my urgency. It was 7 by the time we took the field. We're number 1 upon the hill. In October at our heels, we took 2 or 3 from Oakland here at home. From here to Cleveland to Chicago, New York City's dark and hollow. When you're standing without pinstripes on your brakes, when you're standing without pinstripes on your brakes, when you're standing without pinstripes on your grave.
Should have seen me for Vancouver. I danced with old folks in the water. See, my 2 knees ain't what they used to be, and the ground keeps getting harder. If you ever go to Canada, be aware of the exchange, sir. Make sure you take your brand cigarettes, just in case you start back smoking. Man, I love to hear the bed crack coming through my radio. My dog Ace and a stray cat nose to nose at my front door. Tonight if I don't get home early, I might not make it home at all. When Nash is gone, but it don't get to me. Still got Ace, a radio, and baseball. Come down to the club tonight, even if it's just to say hello. We got this band, I'd say the tight. They got this one song that sure gets me low. And when it's over, we might go out late, even if I had to take a bet. You can't put a price on a good time. See, it's worth it just to hear the drummer laugh. Man, I love to hear the band crack through my AM radio, with my dog Ace and a stray cat nose to nose at my porch door. Tonight if I don't get home early, might not make it home at all. And Nash is gone, but it don't get to me. Still got Ace, a radio, and bass. baseball. Well, there she's gone, but it don't get to me. Still got it, my radio, baseball.
Name is Eddie Roberts, and I'm a starting pitcher for the Winston-Salem Warthogs in the Carolina League. I'm 34 years old. My playing days are numbered. I can't control my curveball, and my fastball's lost some speed. Been knocking around the minors since I got out of high school. I signed my first pro contract on my 17th birthday. From Burlington to Birmingham to Charlotte I have traveled, but the White Sox never called in a stall in AAA. Oh, I love this game. I love this game. Maybe I should quit. Well, that's a hard thing to admit. God, I love this game. Games one year. I led the league in shutouts. Several of the pro scouts told me I was on my way, but I hurt my arm in Lynchburg. They said it was a pinched nerve. I swear that ever since, sir, it ain't never been the same. Oh, I love this game. I love this game. Maybe I should quit. Well, that's a hard thing to admit. God, I love this game. Maybe I should quit, but that's a hard thing to admit. God, I love this game. My name is Eddie Roberts, and I'm a starting pitcher for the Winston-Salem Warthogs in the Carolina League.
A is for Alex, the great Alexander. More goose eggs he pitched than a popular gander. B is for Bresnahan, back of the plate. The Cubs were his love, and McGraw was his hate. C is for Cobb, who grew spikes, not corn, and made all the basemen wish they weren't born. D is for Dean, the grammatical diz. When they asked who's the tops, said correctly, I is. E is for Evers, his jaw in advance, never afraid to tinker with chance. F is for Fordham and Frankie and Frisch. I wish he were back with the Giants, I wish. G is for Gehrig, the pride of the stadium. His record pure gold, his courage pure radium. H is for Hornsby. When pitching to Raj, the pitcher would pitch, then the pitcher would dodge. I is for me, not a hard-sitting man, but an outstanding all-time incurable fan. J is for Johnson. The big train in his prime was so fast he could throw 3 strikes at a time. K is for Keeler. As fresh as green paint, the fustest and mostest to hit where they ain't. L is Lajoie, whom Clevelanders love, Napoleon himself with glue in his glove. M is for Matty, who carried a charm in the form of an extra brain in his arm. N is for Newsom, Bobo's favorite kin. If you asked how he's here, he tucked himself in. O is for Ott of the restless right foot. When he leaned on the pellet stayed put. P is for Plank, the arm of the A's. When he tangled with Matty, games lasted for days. Q is Don Quixote, Cornelius Mack. Neither Yankees nor years can halt his attack. R is for Ruth. To tell you the truth, there's no more to be said, just R is for Ruth. S is for Speaker, swift center field tender. When the ball saw him coming, it yelled, "I surrender." T is for Terry, the giant from Memphis, whose 400 average you can't overemphasize. U would be Ubble if Carl were a Cockney. We say Hubble and baseball, like football and Rockney. V is for Vance, the Dodgers' own Dazzy. None of his rival could throw as fast as he. W. Wagner, the bow-legged beauty. Short was closed to all traffic with Honus on duty. X is the first of 2 X's in Fox, who was right behind Ruth with his powerful socks. Y is for Young, the magnificent sigh. People batted against him, but I never knew why. Z is for Zenith, the summit of fame. These men are up there. These men are the game.
The crowd at Fenway Park now ready to explode. This incredible ball club.
She said we'd be married when the Red Sox won the series. When the Red Sox won the series, then she would be my bride. I should have faced the race was over. In fact, if not in theory, when at the All-Star break my heart was 20 games behind. It seems like Fenway Park is full of guys like me, whose future hangs on every long fly ball's trajectory. We're hopeful in the springtime, but bitter by the fall. We just can't seem to give up on the diamond. I said I'd be waiting till the last of bats retired. When the last of bats retired, then I'd retire too. Now the dugout's getting swept out, the manager's been fired, and I'm sitting here with Babe Ruth's ghost. Yeah, he got sold short too. And it seems like Fenway Park is full of guys like me, whose future breaks with every breaking ball's velocity. We're hopeful in the springtime, but bitter by the fall. We just can't seem to give up on the diamond. I am loyal, I am dogged, I believe with all my heart. Each letdown's a complete surprise. I never said I'm smart. No, I never said I'm smart. mystery. We're hopeful in the springtime, but bitter by the fall. We just can't seem to give up on the diamond. No, we just can't seem to give up so easily. We just can't seem to give up on the diamond. Just wait till next year.
So many to finish at or near the bottom. Swing and a miss.
A Season in Japan. Crossing the plate. A firefly. Safe. And out. At second base, a living national treasure, ridiculed by crickets. Even a plaque in the Hall of Fame pales beside these cherry blossoms. Game long over, alone in the dugout, drunken monk moons the moon. $15 to nothing. He pulls his ace, replaces him with a cicada.
It might be. It could be. It is Diamond Cuts. Hey, hello again, everybody, and thank you for tuning in. This is old Harry inviting you to join us again next time for Diamond Cuts, Volume 8, Inning 8. What is it, Artie? 8th inning, okay. Thanks for coming in on the 7th inning stretch because there was a good-looking young announcer singing for you. Hey, holy cow, what an experience of all baseball songs here on Diamond Cuts.